Hey Tennessee, you've seen the news and video coming out of California and the homeless problem that they have in that state. And let me tell you, no state is without a homeless problem. I'm going to take you on a tour of a homeless camp downtown, on the south side of downtown Nashville, and let you see what the living conditions are like. And I'm going to introduce you to a couple of frontline volunteers that I hope you guys will take time to listen to and help them with their mission down there. Working to help the homeless down there is treating the symptoms. And thus far, the government's response to homelessness is out of sight, out of mind. If we don't see them, it's not a problem. But it is a problem. It's an incredible problem. And it's not the fair treatment of these people that are going through this. In today's world, with the technology that we have, we should be able to identify the root causes of homelessness and start to address the root problems before these people end up in these tent cities and living out in the woods. We need to put in place policies that start helping them right now, rather than this out of sight, out of mind response that the government has. So I hope you'll take time and look at these volunteers and take a look at what exists on the south side of downtown Nashville. So first I want to take you over. This is under Ellington Parkway coming into Nashville from the northeast side. And there used to be about 50 tents underneath this underpass, and they ran them out when they had the NFL picks and put up these signs, no trespassing, state property. Here we're down in Tent City, walking into one of the homeless camps here. And you can see, off in the distance, there's several tents around. This is one of the homeless camps that the residents there allowed me to go in. You can see in here they've got several dogs. They're barking crazy when I went in here, but the dogs seem well cared for. You can see they put up fencing to establish their perimeter around their camp. And here's going through, and you can see other tents off in the distance. And there's probably 100 tents like this down in this encampment of homeless people. They don't have bathrooms. They don't have trash pickup. All the things that the rest of us take for granted. This camp here, this video doesn't do justice, but this guy has created a home with walls without a roof out in the wilderness. He has pet turtles that he's caught out there, and frog. So that's a brief tour of Tent City, downtown Nashville. Just the last 2 weekends I was down there. This homelessness problem is a real problem that needs to be addressed. It pales in comparison to my work taking stand against rampant corruption in government, and even less or more so compared to my work restoring the right of remonstrance. But this is a real issue with these homeless that are living in those conditions down there. So I hope you'll take a minute and listen to these next two gentlemen, and if you can, help them out and make a donation to their organizations that are down there on the front line actually doing something and helping these people. So I'll let you go after you watch those. So thank you for taking time. God bless and Godspeed to us all. John Gentry, candidate for governor, 2022. So my name is John Gentry, candidate for governor. I'm down here with Mark Miles, and he's got, I want you to tell me the work that you're doing down here. So Shower Up, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so I work with an organization called Shower Up. We've been operating for about 5 years, and our mission is to provide showers and hospitality to our folks experiencing homelessness. So we have units, shower units, 3 per unit. We can bring down. We can set up anywhere as long as we are within a few feet of a fire hydrant. We can get fresh water. We have a tankless water heater, so we can supply folks with hot showers, towels, washcloths, toiletry items, things of that sort. Really trying to meet a practical need for our homeless folks.
And this is to get showers. You come down once a week, multiple locations around the Nashville area.
Yeah, so I think we are up to about 5 or 6 sessions per week that we do throughout the week. Myself and my wife have worked the Sunday session for almost 5 years now.
5 years. Wow.
So we used to set up on a Sunday afternoon. We would set up under the Jefferson Street Bridge. Now, since they've closed that encampment, we've moved over here to Old Tent City, where we set up and offer showers every week.
Yeah. So we're down here in Tent City. It's in South Nashville, off of 2nd Avenue, and I'll show you guys a tour that I took a little bit of the area down here. And this area has shrunk a little bit. There was about 300 tents here at its peak. It's probably about 80 tents down here now, spread around throughout the area. For Shower Up, though, you guys have a website, you accept donations,
we do.
Nonprofit?
Showerup.org. You can find out how to contribute, how to donate. There's also plenty of volunteer opportunities, and you can sign up and see what the opportunities are there.
Yeah, so great opportunity to really give back to people that have severe need here in Nashville. So showerup.org, and you can make campaign contributions or sign up to volunteer on there. Have you talked to the people that are down here? What is there a common circumstance? Kids coming out of foster care, mental illness, all the above?
There's really not, man. It really is all of the above. And I think one of the things that most struck me when we started working with this organization was just how broad the stories are, how varied the stories are. Because, you know, for me, admittedly, I didn't have the full picture. You know, I had a certain mental image as to what it meant to be homeless and what those folks' lives were like. And once I started working and serving with them and getting to know them, I realized that their stories are myriad. Like you just can't really pigeonhole them into the myopic viewpoint that I used to have.
Yeah.
You know, you learn that these people, a lot of them work, a lot of them have a certain amount of means, but they just can't get over that hump into finding affordable housing.
Yeah.
So we hear a lot of stories, a lot of different backgrounds down here.
Yeah, I think though that there's always some common thread amongst segments of the homeless population. Mm-hmm. Kids coming out of foster care. Yeah. People dealing with corruption in the court systems. Mm-hmm. Certainly there's mental illness, myriad of problems, and we have to, I think, and some of the work that I want to do is start picking at what are the underlying causes. Right. You know, because to get a homeless person off the street, you know, I'm thinking ideas like incentivizing businesses through tax credits that, you know, don't fire the guy just the first day that he doesn't show up from work. Give him a break. Right. You know, start him off a couple days a week, something that they can handle. Things like that businesses can do to try to facilitate getting these guys and these men and women off of the streets. Right. But we really need to address the root problems that cause people to end up in a situation like this.
Agreed.
And there is so much that can be done. And the government response to it, you know, they built like 80 tiny homes, and they're sitting in storage, not being used. Waste of taxpayer money, and we've got people living under tarps down here when they have tiny homes that government could put to use. Right. It's a weak, incompetent response that's going on from our government. But thank God for organizations like Shower Up that come down here, and I'll be talking with another gentleman from Sanctuary that comes down and feeds the people, and we'll do that in another segment later on. But the work that you guys are doing, I mean, I was a Marine for 8 years, and I know what it's like to go a couple weeks without having a shower. Right. You know, your hair itches like crazy, you smell horrible, and it's unsanitary, causes different skin problems. And so, you know, you guys down here, this is God's work, I think, you know, to come down and give people a shower like this, the way you guys are doing. So Mark, thank you for the work that you're doing. Showerup.org. If you can, make a donation to them or volunteer and come help these guys down here. So here I'm with Glebo down here. It's with Sanctuary. These guys come down here every Sunday, and they go, what, like 5 other locations you go around Nashville?
Well, through the week. We only come here on Sundays because we do a full-fledged grilling. We set up picnic tables, and we serve, you know, roughly 60, 70 folks, and we cook off of our grill here.
Have you hit other locations around the Nashville area?
During the week we do. During the week we don't grill. We prepare the food separately, but we have 5 different locations right now that we're stopping at and feeding folks.
Yeah. So this you have a website, Sanctuary.
SanctuaryHomelessRefuge.com.
So SanctuaryHomelessRefuge.com, and people can make donations on that website as well. So they need funding to pay for food. They come out on their own time, volunteer, and come help feed homeless people here in Nashville. We're a couple blocks off of 2nd Avenue in South Avenue, 2nd Avenue South here in Nashville, just adjacent to where there's a tent city, probably about 80 tents down there or so.
Yeah, it fluctuates. Lots of folks know about Tent City down here, closer to town, but it can vary from 800 to 200 tents down here at any given time. So,
yeah. So, and you can see some shots here where they're grilling out here. It's incredible the quality of food that they're providing to these people. So SanctuaryHomelessRefuge.com.
Yeah, and actually the food is actually donated from Trader Joe's, but what we're working on right now is we're putting together a drivable diner. We're converting a truck into a diner because a lot of the laws are changing where folks we're not allowed to serve under the bridges and stuff around in any of the cities that we serve, Nashville and Old Hickory, and so our workaround is we're going to have a traveling diner where people can come on to the diner and eat, and of course, any donations they help with tents, sleeping bags, clothing when we don't have donated clothing, but stuff like undergarments and socks. They help with water. We always have a need for water, especially now this summer. They help with facilitating the forks and the plates and the spoons and all the things that we use for that kind of stuff.
And the talking about that they have to go buy a mobile diner and set that up. And it's because what our government is doing today is they're just working to find ways that we don't see the homeless people. They've banned them from locating under state property, under bridges. There's a shot here of underneath Ellington Parkway. There used to be about 50 tents at least underneath that overpass, and now they've put up signs, prohibited on state property. And so they keep shifting these homeless populations. They're coming out with local legislation in Nashville. If you have a sleeping bag or something on your backpack, then you get a ticket. They're doing stuff, what's this, like new 3 strikes you're out, something they've got going on?
Well, it's a new law that, they can be fined $50, that's the minimum, but they can also be slapped with a Class E felony, for being homeless.
Yeah, so basically we're incarcerating people and turning it into crime to the extremely poor. The government response for this is completely lacking in any kind of justice or providing for these people that are down here. All of the legislation seems to be about how do we get these people out of our view so that we don't have to look at them. Maybe now, they may even start incarcerating some of these guys. And I'm grateful for people like Lebo that take their time, come down here and feed them. And with SanctuaryHomelessRefuge.com. So I hope you guys will take a minute and drop over to that website and make a donation and help these guys keep this mission going. So Lebo, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for having me down here. And I'll see you back out here again next Sunday, and we'll do another little tour out here. But thank you guys for watching. God bless, Godspeed to us all, and in God we trust.